Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is John. If you're new to the channel, my channel is about growing on YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you tips on how to make your video go viral. So if this is something you're interested in, keep watching. So first off, when I'm talking about a viral video, I'm talking about a video that gets over 1 million views. So in our scenario, whenever we talk about viral video, we're talking about a video that gets over 1 million views on YouTube. And what I'm going to be talking about is specifically to posting a video on YouTube. It may work for Facebook, it may work for Instagram, but I'm primarily focused on YouTube. Tip number one on having your video go viral is to understand what YouTube is. And throughout my mentorship calls, I talk with a lot of people who don't really understand what YouTube is. So if you could imagine, YouTube is owned by Google. Google is a search engine, so it only makes sense that YouTube is the second largest search engine right after Google. What a search engine is used for is that people are using YouTube to find answers to their questions. So if you could imagine, people would always search on YouTube of how-tos, or how to do this, or how to edit a video, or how to grow on Instagram. Or if it's not for the educational purposes, people are searching on YouTube for entertainment. So that solves the problem of someone who wants to be entertained. So for example, when people watch basketball compilation videos or they've watched funny cat videos, those videos are basically solving a problem for someone else who's looking for entertainment. Tip number two in having your video go viral is to have a good viral topic. So what I mean by this is that a viral video won't be something related to the lines of your dog playing in the backyard. Okay, I think you and I can both agree on that. But a viral video can be something crazy like, you won't believe what my dog does in her spare time in the backyard. So see how those two types of videos kind of differ in a sense that one is more likely to go viral than the other. Just the general topic overall has to be semi-viral. Now tip number three I have when it comes to having a viral video is to work on a very good thumbnail. And the thumbnail is often something that most people don't spend enough time on. If you could imagine, a lot of the times people are basically writing in text on the thumbnail what they have in the title. And to me, that's kind of a waste. If what you're saying in the thumbnail is the same exact thing that you have written in your title, then why waste space having it in both places? In my opinion, from my videos that have gone viral before, they're usually images or definitely photoshopped images that spark emotion, that spark semi-outrage or sparks interest. But the thumbnail is usually an image that can provoke someone, whether it's in a good way, controversial way, funny way, bad way, emotional way, sad way. So I use thumbnails not to repeat what I have in my title. So don't do that. Don't put what you have in the title of your video in your thumbnail. Use your thumbnail for an imagery, spark emotion, get a good image of what the title of your video is about. And also, again, do not put what your title is in your thumbnail, because I see that all the time in all the mentorship calls that I get when I'm reviewing other people's channels where their title of the video is out in bubble letters in their thumbnail. So don't do that. Give it some thought. Spend enough quality time actually thinking of a good image that can represent your title, your topic of your video, and so that it'll also spark some sort of emotion when viewers see it. So the next tip I have in regards to getting a viral video is to have a good title. So before we talked about having a good thumbnail and make it a good image, the next one is having a good title. And what I mean by good titles is that usually titles that have a number in them and also have the word you, or basically speaking out to the audience or viewer, those are good titles that get viewers to click on your video. So let me give you an example, okay? We'll talk about dogs. We'll say that the title of the video is My Dog Playing in the Backyard. An alternate to that title would be 10 crazy things you won't believe that my dog does in the backyard. So you see what I did there? So by including the number 10, people are expecting to see 10 things in that video. And by including the word you, it's kind of like you're speaking to the viewer in a sense that you're talking to them through your title. So again, this is the example I have. Include a number in your title and include the word you in the title, and try and make your title engaging. Don't just label it as the topic of your video. Really give it some thought into making an engaging title. Put yourself in the viewer's shoes in a sense that if you came across your own video, what title would you read that would get you to want to click on your own video? So speaking of clicking, the next tip I have in regards to getting a viral video is to improve your click-through rate. So if you could imagine, you can have a really good video, but if no one is clicking, no one is watching. So in order of prioritization, number 1 and 2 come the thumbnail and the title and the thumbnail lead to a good click-through rate. The better the click-through rate, the more likely that the YouTube algorithm is going to suggest your video in the suggestion column of other people's videos, or even in the browser, or you may even rank number 1 for your search term for your keyword term as well. So the click-through rate, it basically comes from having a good title and a good thumbnail. If your video is receiving views per day, but the click-through rate is pretty low, but it's still getting views per day, I would take the time to actually adjust your title or adjust your thumbnail to get that click-through rate higher. And so when people are clicking through and watching your video, now that leads me to the next tip, which is watch time. In my videos, I usually aim for a watch time above 40%. And usually all the viral videos that I've ever gotten have had a watch time of over 40%. I mean, it's really hard to get a watch time that's 100%, but watch time comes from having an engaging video, which is the next tip I have in terms of getting a video to go viral, is that your video has to be engaging. Now, I wrote a video a long time ago about how to write a really good engaging script. I'll leave that in the link below. But essentially what it consists of is that with my viral videos, I always like to include a number in them, as I've said before. And so if I'm gonna give you 10 things that my dog does in the backyard, and I finally got someone able to click on it by having a good thumbnail and a good title. So now the next thing is that I want them to keep watching the video. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna make a very short intro, which is only 1 sentence long, and then I'm gonna get straight into the meat of the video, because if someone is clicking on your video to see 10 things that your dog is doing in the backyard, you better get straight to the point and show them or tell them what 10 things your dog is doing in the backyard, because that's why they're clicking on their video. I don't use very long intros. Whenever I see a video that has like a 15-second or longer intro, I think that's a waste of watch time. I always try to get straight to the point in my videos, because I want to give my viewers what they basically came here for and what I told them they were going to get. So get straight to the point in your videos. So after the intro of your video, if you could imagine that you got them to watch past the first 15 seconds, and now you're at number 10, which is one of the 10 things that your dog does in the backyard. Number 10 better be a good thing, okay? So it's kind of, sorry, the sun is in my eyes, but it's kind of redundant. It's kind of backwards when you're making like a top 10 style video. If you could imagine, when people think of a top 10 style video, they think that number 1 is going to be the best, all right? But in terms of making a viral video and to improve watch time, you want to make numbers 10, number 9, and number 8. You want to make those 3 really good things that your dog does in the backyard. So you want to make numbers 10, 9, and 8 really good, engaging things that your dog does in the backyard, for example. And basically the middle of the video is still going to be good stuff, but then numbers 2 and number 1 are also going to be really good, so that the video ends off strong. So again, just to repeat, imagine that you have a 10 item countdown list in your video. Numbers 10 to number 8, those are going to be really, really good stuff. The middle of your video, numbers 7 to numbers 3, those are going to be okay stuff, but still good. And then numbers 2 and number 1, that also is going to be really good stuff. So you see how you kind of put your good material in the beginning of the video, so that people are more likely to keep watching because the beginning of the video is good. Most people don't think of it that way when it comes to creating a viral video, which is to make the beginning of your video good items and the ending of your video also good items, and then the middle of your video is still good, but not as good as numbers 10 through number 8, and not as good as numbers 2 and number 1. Now you can rebuttal and say, why don't you just make your entire video really good? And yeah, you can do that, but at the same time, there's got to be some way in which you can organize your 10 items so that you put the really good stuff in the beginning and the really good stuff at the end. So the last thing I have in regards to creating a viral video is to basically have the quality video, have quality visuals and quality audio. And this last step is probably something that most people don't overlook, and it's probably what they spend a lot of time on. So I have no doubt that people are creating quality videos with good audio and good visuals, but a lot of the things that people miss out on is really nailing that thumbnail and really nailing that title. So if you're spending like 6 hours actually creating the content of your video, that does work out in a sense, but also spend a good hour or 2 really creating a good thumbnail and really creating a good title. Because if with a good title and a good thumbnail, people are clicking on your video, people are now watching your video, and with a good quality video, you're gonna have a better watch time. So with a good click-through rate and a good watch time and a good general viral ideal topic, that's essentially how you have a higher chance of getting a viral video. Now I hope this was helpful, guys. If you're interested in more in how to create viral videos, I do offer a free training, which I'll leave down below in the description. I also do free mentorship calls. If you're interested, I'll also leave that down in the description below in the video. Thanks for watching this video, and if you have any questions, please feel free to comment them down below or reach out to me. Thank you.